It's time for another edition of SIRE TV, Success in Real Estate, with your host, Robert Burke. Join Robert and his guests, some of the country's leading experts on real estate investing, as they show you how you can purchase properties tens of thousands of dollars below true market value. So whether you are looking for your personal dream house, a fantastic rental property, or you want to buy, fix up, and resell for profit, this is the show for you. Robert will also share his amazing networks of lenders who are loaning on real estate all across the country. Your financial success is just around the corner. And now, the host of the Success in Real Estate program, Robert Burke.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the SIRE TV program. Glad that you're here. I'm always excited about these programs, but I'm especially excited about this one because I have this philosophy, and I talk about it week after week. A couple of things. One is teamwork in this business. I think it's very important. And the other is I kind of take a no excuse philosophy in this business. I don't think there's any reason why anybody can't be successful in real estate and investing in real estate. And I think if they'll take advantage, or if you'll take advantage of all that we offer on this show, there's no excuse for you not to make it. We're going to talk about a couple of those excuses that I get all the time from people. The first one is I don't have the time to go out there and find these deals. I don't know how to do it. I've never done it before. I just don't have the desire, the inclination to do it. We're going to solve that problem for you. On our website, we have wholesalers all across the country who list their properties. They're good at what they do, and that's going out there and finding deals. And so you can go to our website and see these deals that are out there, get in contact with them, get on their list, deal with them, and they'll find the deals for you. So that excuse you're not having time is out the window. Speaking of that and talking about that, I want to introduce my first two guests of the show. First is Ben Cowling from New Western. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you very much.
And also, you have a client of New Western, Joel Westrom. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you both here. The first thing, Ben, is you guys, your company, now you've been on the show before and you've talked about private lending because you're very knowledgeable about that and you're always a great guest when we're talking about that. But you also work for a company called New Western, which I call a wholesaler. Your expertise is going out there and finding deals. You have a network, a knack for doing that. So briefly explain what it is you guys do and why you're so good at it.
Well, that's a good question. Really, we have a large network of people we work with, be it from banks to local homeowners to agents. So we have a long list of people we're able to get properties from. So that's why we've really taken a long time to get those networks set up, that we're able to get our deals, get them cheap enough so we can sell them to the investor and they can make some money on it.
Now, Joel, again, welcome to the show. Glad that you're here. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. Tell us briefly your story. We were talking a little bit before the show about that. You started in real estate a while back, got out of it, and then got back into it. Just briefly tell us your story about real estate.
About 5 6 years ago, I was like everybody. We got into the flip houses. It was a lot of fun. We were making some money, having a good time. And it took a little work. I mean, but you had a lot of time as well to do flip houses. And but then about, I would say, 3 or 4 years ago, it became very competitive, just nationwide, to get into flip houses. And we actually got kind of booted out of this because I couldn't get out there and compete and get into these homes.
Well, also at the time, you had a full-time company, so you weren't doing this full-time.
No, it was absolutely part-time. You had the time, it was the nights, the weekends, you get out there, you look at some stuff, and it was a lot of work, there was a lot of time in there, but there was profit in it as well.
And so then you kind of got out of it, and then your background is in property management, so you always have kind of stayed in real estate. What brought you back into it? I know you started doing business with New Western.
Correct.
So how did that kind of bring you back to life in investing in real estate?
Well, you know what's interesting is that we are in real estate, and yet even though I was involved in real estate with property management, we still couldn't get into the flip houses, even though we knew that. And it wasn't until we actually met New Western about a year ago where they started bringing us some deals. And you realize the efficiency of what they do and the machine that they have. What took me 100 hours that they could provide to me in a document that says, hey, here's a product, and we could make a decision on the spot. And the first one we're like, okay, well, I'm not sure about this. We got in, and we're like, hey, it worked. And we're like, okay, do another one. It worked. And so we're actually back in the game now as a result of working with them, because you really need a team effort out there. to get into this business.
And I stress that too, teamwork. You know, when I first got into this business, it was like every man for himself.
Yep.
You didn't really have a partner. You just were out there and you had to do everything on your own. It was just like a battle every day. And it was like, not only did you battle the people you're doing business with, but everybody else was competing against you. There was no friendship. You know, it's a little different nowadays.
It's absolutely different. And it was very conventional, old school, the way you did it 5 years ago. You need the teamwork, you need to help people to research. Your show covers a lot of those subjects with the hard money lending, all that stuff. You need all those components today to compete. And it works very well. Actually, I think it's easier than what it was 5 years ago because you were on your own.
Yeah.
And you had to learn a lot and you didn't know all those things. And now you've got experts in this area and experts in this area and they're all working and you don't do this onesie twosie. You could do 5 or 6 homes now because it's just all coming. It's a great formula and it's actually working for us.
Well, Ben, let me ask you this, because it's a question that gets brought to my attention all the time. You guys have this knack, you're good at finding these deals. Why not finish it? Why sell that deal to somebody like Joel, who's going to go out there and fix it up, and he's going to make money off of it? Why don't you guys do that too?
Well, I would say, you know, we're good at what we do as far as finding our properties, you know, and we really want to help the investor make their money. So, you know, they can make a deal and hopefully come back buy another house from us. So everyone wins. The win-win for everyone. Everyone's making money, mainly the investor, I would say.
And it does go back.
Done well. Thank you.
Joe, it does go back to the teamwork aspect. And you and I had this conversation before the show about, you know, when I got involved in this and I was doing all aspects of it, there was one aspect that I really found I really liked doing. Then there were some that I did and it was okay. And then there were a few that I just hated. And it were the few that I did that I hated that really kind of drove me out of the business. And so now you can bring in somebody like a New Western or a wholesaler who finds these properties. And, you know, again, we've had a doctor on the show. We've had a pilot. You know, a housewife who had 3 kids. I mean, you talk about being busy, you know, and they rely on companies like that to go out there and find these deals. They're great deals. Now, if you had that same knack, you could find them a little bit cheaper too, you know,
actually,
but
you know, they lock them in. They get the good ones. And that was the thing that we weren't sure. It's like, oh, we can go find these deals. We tried. We did. And they lock the deals up. They actually, I think they get better pricing is what they're getting, and they're passing that along to us because we're looking at going, hey, wait, we saw that, and now we can get that deal. And so it works out a lot
And
better.
it's kind of, no matter how they're doing it, when it's all said and done, does it really matter because you're benefiting from it?
No, they're locking them up and they're getting them out to us, and because there's not just them, there's lots of people out there, and it's great to have somebody on your side that's actually can represent and get those properties locked in, and then they come to you and say, hey, here's something, here's a package.
Right.
And it's all written out. I mean, there's a lot of work that takes. It's not just about buying a house, it's the due diligence, it's the roof, it's the foundation. They go through a lot of that stuff and they get that out for you ahead of time. So you not only do you have a good price, you also know what it's going to take to get yourself out of it. And so far it's been very accurate.
Well, I would say to our viewers out there, you want to do your own due diligence. These guys will provide you with the basics of certainly what you can buy it for and what they think needs to be done. But you need to kind of do your own due diligence.
Absolutely,
of course.
absolutely, and that's our expertise, and we apply that. That's the team part of it, and we come in there and they do it, and they kind of lay an outline out. They're not saying, hey, this is 100%, because in real estate nobody really knows. But they do, what I found is that it's very accurate where I can go off of those numbers and then put my numbers to it. And so it's safe. Time is money. And in today's market, we know we only have a very short amount of time to buy houses. So information is very useful. They provide very good information. It's helped us.
Well, I want to say to our viewers again that we do have these properties listed on our site. We deal with rehabbers all over the country, or wholesalers all over the country who will list on our site. So go there, SIRETV.tv, and check that out. Again, Ben, I thank you for being on the show. Joel, it's great to have you. You're a great guest.
I appreciate it.
We'd love to have you back again.
Would love to be back.
It's a great story of somebody who got out of this business and now is back in. Very inspirational. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The SIRE TV program, brought to you in part by Appraisal Save, your half-price nationwide home appraisal service. Sherman Bridge, America's #1 rehab lender.
Welcome back, everybody. I want to thank our last guest, Joel and Ben. I thought that was a great segment for those of you out there who don't have time to do this or have full-time jobs, looking for and want to get into this business. You can go to our website, check out all these properties, deal with these rehab or these wholesalers around the country because they they're good at what they do, and they can find these great deals. Find a good one. Find one that you can trust. Do your own due diligence, but they'll do a lot of work for you. They'll do a lot of the work for you. They really will. I want to welcome back to our show in the second segment, Matthew Elmer, who's from the Real Alliance. Welcome back.
Thanks, Robert.
Always great to have you.
Yeah.
We had you here last week, and we were talking about this, I don't know how else to say it, this fantastic deal that we have put together for our viewers, your REI Core Audio program.
Yeah.
This is a program that you've had out there for a while, and you sell it for a lot of money. It's a 3 or 4 hour program, training program.
Yeah.
We have this available for our listeners. They can go online and click on the link to the Real Alliance, and we're offering this to our listeners for $99.
Yeah.
Now that's unbelievable, because not only is it this program that you have, but you also have these live training programs. You have a 3-day program. You do these at various times throughout the year.
Right.
They cost anywhere from $200 to $400 for people to go to.
Right.
Per person, and you're throwing that in actually 2 tickets so that somebody can bring a guest.
Absolutely.
The last show I got thinking about that, and I thought, you know, sometimes if a deal's too good to be true, there's a reason for it, or sometimes you get what you pay for.
Right.
But that is not the case with this.
No, we're very committed to changing the reputation of real estate investors around the country, and there's a lot of people that don't quite get what they're doing. They think they're taking advantage of people, and if an investor is well educated and well informed, they don't need to take advantage of people. They can provide a service to the market, and that's what we're trying to do is create effective, good investors out there in the market. And so we're willing to invest a little bit in these people that are willing to come to us and get that training. And I had a guy last night that was at another event of mine that we did, a preview event where we were telling people about our program. He came to see me talk again after just attending the 3-day, and he stood up and told everybody, you've got to do it. And now we were charging more than we're doing through your program, but he was telling them, you've got to spend this money. It's completely worth it.
Yeah.
So
well, and this program is really more for, would you say, more the beginner investor?
Well, we really have built it, the REI Core Audio Training, exactly for that. It's the core information that's necessary for someone to launch their business and really get a clear understanding of what real estate investing is so that they can step forward. And then we couple that with the 3-day training, which is for anybody. And I've got people that have done 16, 20 deals. I actually had a guy that did 10 deals before he came, over a year period of time, and he's already on his 5th deal since he came to the training, which is just 3 months ago.
Wow.
So,
well, I was going through these different aspects of the training. You talk about just learning the terminology of the business.
Right. Yeah.
So important. Credibility. You go in there and you're talking to somebody about buying their house, or you go to talk to a realtor or go to a title company, you don't really know what you're talking about. They know what they're talking about,
right,
and they're going to be able to know that you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So basic things like that, all the way up to like terms and the different types of investing that somebody can get into. You also talk about the 10 things not to do, because you make a comment that I kind of live by this now. I love telling people that in real estate, so much of real estate investing, it's not what you do right.
Yeah.
But it's what you can do wrong that can really stop you.
Yeah.
So you've got this one segment about the things not to do. Just go over that briefly, some of those things that you talk about and teach.
Yeah, well, a big thing that I see is that most people think real estate investing is all about the properties. And so they're out there hunting all through these properties. I heard your last guest talk about the value of having a wholesaler, a team member that they could work with. And so one of the big mistakes is that they end up spending too much time looking at the property rather than analyzing the deal and vetting the deal out, because that's where the money is. And so you got to spend your time doing what's really making you the money. And that's one of the things we talk about. Another big thing is don't get emotionally charged about your deals. You're not buying a home, and the property you invest in may not be the property you would ever live in. But that's not how you make your judgment call. You make your judgment call based on what are the numbers saying, and you got to live and die by the numbers. So.
You talk about that. It reminded me of a story, because I used to have people who would come, friends of mine, when they saw me making money in real estate, my lifestyle was changing. I had a house now and had a little nicer car. Hey, Robert, you're nothing special if you're doing this right. And it was true, and I'd take them and look at a property, and emotion tended to get in the way of people. I'd go and show them a house and go, well, I don't want to live there. I don't want to go in there. And I'm saying, I'm not looking to live in that house. I look at that house, I don't look at it that way. I look at, the money that I'm going to make. And it's a business decision. So it is something that can stop people.
It's one of the reasons why on our 3-day event, we actually do a real deal tour where we go tour properties that are right in the middle of the transaction. Sometimes it's right in the front end where there's no work having been done, and people are like, you guys are going to buy this house? Or it's right in the middle where they've tore out some of the stuff and they're fixing it up, or it's at the end where they can see what the product looks like. And so, and I hear that comment all the time, oh, I never would have bought this house. And they realize, well, that's the houses we want. We want the houses that smell like cat urine, the houses that don't look right, that have the foundation problems. That's where our money is made. Ideally, though, what we want to do, and another mistake that people make, is they end up buying deals where all of the expenses are in non-return type repairs. So it's all foundation, roof, things that don't add to the feel of the house. And the houses that you really want to focus on are houses where you can add more emotion and therefore get a better return. So something where if you go and repaint a house, the amount of money, new value in that house is dramatically more than going and doing the foundation work.
Right.
And so those are the things that you want to be
And I
aware
used to
of.
tell people when I go look at a house, I'm really concerned about, new carpet and paint. Because like you say, when people walk in, they go, wow, it smells good, it looks nice. Carpet and paint's pretty inexpensive. Foundations can be. Now, in all fairness, if a property has a foundation problem, my experience usually sometimes can get a better deal on it. But you do have to kind of deal with that and some unknowns. And it's not so much it's not worth doing. You'll find a lot of those deals. But it's learning what to look for and what to stay away from, like you said. The things that that you do wrong can really hurt you.
Sometimes you put $1 in and on your rehab, but you don't get $1 out. And so you want to make sure you balance those properties where you're getting $10 for that dollar invested. One of those is in the front porch. When you're going to show a house and someone's sitting there and the real estate agent's trying to fumble with getting the key and they're looking around at the house, if that front porch isn't clean, if the cobwebs aren't gone, the house is not going to sell because immediately the emotion is negative. So there's little things like that stop people from succeeding in this business that they don't understand. And by understanding those nuances, man, the ability and the speed at which they can succeed is just incredible.
If somebody gets one thing out of this $99 deal that we put together for them, it'll pay for that $99 100,000 times over.
Hands down.
So don't look at, I'm having to spend extra money. Think about what you're going to get from it. And that's what this program will do.
People have to move from thinking of expenses like an individual and start thinking of them like a business. And when you think of it in a business, what am I going to pay and what's the return on my investment? And we have built this program to be worth not just tenfold, but 100-fold what's being invested in it. And I can tell you, if people will take action on it, especially if they come to our event and get that live training, they'll walk out of there empowered to go out there and become a real estate investor.
Well, I think that this is fantastic, Matt. I love having you on the show because of that. I love the fact that we can offer these deals to our viewers. You can go to our website, siretv.tv, and there's a link there to the Real Alliance, and you can watch this program for $99. It is just an unbelievable deal. You're not going to find anything like this, okay? And in addition to that, you get 2 free tickets to one of his 3-day seminars. It's just a good deal, and there's so much information in there. It's going to be worth your time and effort. I promise you that. Again, Matt, great to have you on the show. As always, next time when you're on, we want to talk about teamwork. We want to kind of specialize in that because it's something that's very important. So let's talk about that next time.
Sounds great.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. Don't go away. I'm going to come back and wrap up the show.
The SIRE TV program, brought to you in part by New Western, America's #1 source for investment properties. The Real Alliance, leading individuals to success through real estate investing.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, you know the old saying, time flies when you're having fun. I mean, these shows just fly by for me. I remember when I was going through a training class a long time ago to learn insurance. It was so boring to me, and I'd sit there and the clock would almost go backwards. But these things just fly by. I hope they do that for you. I hope you find them as informative as I hope that they are. I want to thank our guest again, Ben Cowing, and his guest, Joel, basically representing wholesalers around the country. Again, you can go to our website, SIRE TV.tv. We have quite a few wholesalers around the country that list their properties on our site. You can find who they are, get in touch with them. These are reputable guys. The excuse that you don't have time to find properties or don't know how to do it, that's out the window now because we've provided this information for you. I also want to thank Matthew Elmer again from the Real Alliance. This program that we have put together for you, this deal that we've put together for you, the old adage, if it's too good to be true, don't believe it or you get what you pay for, that's gone. This really is a far better deal than what you're going to pay for. $99, you get this complete 3 or 4 hour training program, really the basics of real estate investing, some more advanced training. You get tickets to come to one of his 3-day live appearances or seminars that they do. You can do they do those throughout the year, so you can pick the one that you want to go to. You don't have to do that. For the $99, it's still a great deal. He's doing that just for you, for our viewers of this television program, the SIRE TV program. Go to the website and check that out. Also, if you're listening to this program on a local station, go to our website. We have private lenders in your city, in your area, that want to loan money to real estate investors. They have money to loan. It's out there, okay? Don't think that it's not. You got to check that out. We also have sponsors, people who are involved in our show, that can help you make money in real estate and help you, from insurance companies that specialize in dealing with investors, title companies who specialize in dealing with investors. All of that is on our website. So be sure to go there. We have the cities listed. We have, in those particular cities on our website, we have all the different companies that we recommend, preferred lenders, and companies that really want to do business with you and know what it is to be a real estate investor. So be sure and go again to the SIRETV.tv website and check that out. Hard money, or not hard money, we're changing that. Private lenders around the country, wholesalers, companies that are there to help you, training programs, all of that. We're not a one-trick pony. We put together the greatest companies out there. All right? So be sure and check that out. Again, SIRETV.tv. And until then, again, as I say week after week, but I really mean it, God bless and continued success.
Thank you for watching the SIRE TV program. For more information regarding the contents of this show, please visit our website at SIRETV.tv.